Hello guys, I'm happy that again you find yourself in this channel so that we can learn about issues to do with finances and how we can manage our finances very well. So today I have a great topic that we want to bring here so that we can really understand and it can help us to know how we can really manage our finances when we are still young. So today the topic that I'm going to bring on board is how to manage your finances before you reach 30 or before you reach 40. So there are a number of things that I want to bring here that I want to believe if you use them well and you utilize about the points that I'm going to put here, it's going to be very helpful for you. One of the things that you have to understand when you are still young, because this is something that most of us when we are young, we are never taught. Remember that issue to do with our finances, sometimes it can be very tricky. Managing your money for the first time, it can be tricky because many of us have never been taught about finances. And remember that these are the things that we could have done long time ago when we are in our 20s, when we are in our 25. But unfortunately, because we were not taught either by our parents or we were not taught by our mentors or our elder brothers or our teachers, or even the society could not really direct us what exactly we should do. And I'm saying this because like for us immigrants, when we come to United States and or other overseas country, we find ourselves that the first time we come and we start getting, like, we can work two jobs, and then we work those two jobs and we get some good money, but unfortunately we don't know how to plan and we don't know how to manage. So that's why I'm saying that managing your money sometimes can be very tricky because it's something that you are not taught. So thank God that you found yourself in this channel that we can learn about these things which are very important. So one of the things that I want us to know is that you have to know how to monitor your cash flow and how to track your spending. When I talk about monitoring your cash flow, I want you to understand how much of the money you're bringing in and how much of the money is going out. And that's where I will continue to emphasize about issue to do with budgeting. Because when you have the budgeting, then you'll be able to account for even a coin or a dollar that comes out from your pocket or from your bank. So you have to know how to monitor your cash flow and how to track your spending. That's one of very important things that we have to look at. The second thing that we need to look at when we are still young and energetic, you have to know to start a rainy day fund and set aside at least some amount. Let me just say, like, even $500 or even $1,000 or even $2,000 or even $200. You should start a rainy day fund. When I talk about rainy day fund, I mean that we need to put some money aside that in case of any emergency, then you'll be able to go in for that money and use it. Because I'm saying this because I remember I used to have an old car when I came to United States, and that car every month it could have problem. Every month it could have problem, and because sometimes it could bring all the issues when I don't have money, then I could go on and use the credit card to repair it. But it made me to have an increment of too much debt because every month I had to take it to the mechanic and I could use my credit card. So when I'm talking about starting your rainy day fund and set aside some amount of money, that means you should not ignore some things like accident or maybe, for example, sudden loss of your job or sometimes the delay in the payment, or maybe your salary or your wage. So if you have set aside some fund, it will be very important for you that you will not go in for your saving, or you cannot put yourself into a lot of credit that you could not even plan for. So the third thing that we need to look at when we are still energetic, before we reach our 30s or before we reach our 40s, we have to look at making sure that the credit cards that we have, or the debt that we have, we try to reduce by paying them. We know sometimes it's not really easier to do without them, because like in this country, things to do with our credit score is so important, and you have to build your credit score. So maybe you'll be forced to go in and take the car note, and then when you take a car note, then you have to be paying every month, so that as you are building your credit score, because maybe in future you're planning to have a house. So I want to tell you that you have to try your level best also to be paying those debts in time, so that you complete it. But now the problem, when we are at our 20s and we are in our 30s, assume for example you bought a Toyota Camry in 2016, and then before even you complete paying the same, then you find that there is another new car that has come, the new brand of 2020 or 2021. Then you go on and sell the same car that you had before even you complete, and then you keep yourself to be continuing to be on debt. I'm not saying that it's bad to do that, but it is good when you're planned, because yeah, if you do it and that maybe that car is making money, it's something that is paying off its own debt, then there's no a bad deal. It's a good deal. But you have to look at pay off those debt, and you strategize yourself. So the third thing that we need to look at is it's better to have disability coverage. When I talk about disability coverage, I mean that you have to have some coverage that in case of anything that happened to you, either at the place of work or maybe injury, it is not going to make you not to go and work and have money. So you can go to Google, or you can visit some of your friends, and they will tell you about some types of insurances that you can try to invest in, so that in case of anything, then you can be in position not to be in a place that can lead you to bankruptcy. So the other thing that we need to look at is we have to make sure that we build our rainy day fund. When I talk about building a rainy day fund, I mean that we need to at least have a certain amount of money in our emergency saving, maybe like even 1 to 2 months ahead. So it makes you not to be really more of the paycheck to paycheck. So in case of anything or any injury, then you will be in position to set yourself free. Or for example, maybe retirement, and also so many other things. So it's a better thing to have set aside some of the money that can help you in case of such thing, especially when you're growing old. Because sometimes when we are at our 20s and our 30s, we forget very quickly that years goes very fast, and soon you'll find yourself that you've reached retirement age and you don't have anything. So when I talk about retirement age, so when you're doing aside of that money, then you have to look at things to do maybe with 401k and many other things. Because I remember when I came to this country, I didn't know about that. I didn't know that you can there is a type of where you can keep your money, so that you have your retirement when you leave, you can be given. Because I remember the time I went to file taxes, and then I was supposed to pay some cash, and they told me, do you have anything in your 401k? I said, no, I don't have, because even I didn't know that that name exists. And I want to believe that so many young people, maybe in this country, or those who have come like immigrant like me, they might not even know such thing exists. so they don't have maybe money set aside for their retirement, because we assume that we'll remain young for years and years. But when the time is going very fast, you find yourself at your old age, you have not invested for your retirement, and that will be very, very bad thing. So the other thing that we need to look at, when we are still young, when we are still energetic, we have to set saving goal for our future purchases. Yeah, because sometimes we can have a strategic plan and say to ourselves, like, from 10 years from now, we have to get a house. Maybe you are at your 20s, have to get a house. So you start strategizing on your future savings. So by that time, maybe you could pay even that house cash, or if not, then you'll have a good amount of money to put down, so that you will avoid yourself to have a lot of debt. So sometimes we look at ourselves, maybe we didn't see and recognize that these things are very important. But I want to tell you that it's very important to start thinking about, to set aside a set goal for your future. Another thing that we need to look at is you have to invest in yourself. When I talk about investing in yourself, there are different ways that you can invest in yourself. For example, maybe you can do some certification courses. Even in Google, there's a Google certificate and so many other certificates that you can do over the phone. Even you don't need to pay fee. And you will have really added yourself some skill. Or if not, then you can even Google and see if there is a business conference that you need even to pay, even if it's $150, even $100. You can go there and add yourself skills. If not, then you can even attend some of the conferences and some of the training that can add some skill to you, that in future you will not have any big problem in terms of maybe doing some 1, 2, 3 things that can bring some financial stream that are extra out of what you get every month. So as we are young, we have to make sure that we put all the things that I've said into consideration, and knowing that we need to save and put more of what we get into the asset, not really invest a lot in some things that maybe will consume our monies, but we can put in things that appreciate the value. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you for coming to this channel. And I want to request one thing from you, that if you can go down there to the subscription button, and you can hit it, and you can also hit the notification bell. Once you do that, every time we upload any video, you are going to be the first one to get the notification, and you will attend or participate in our channel, and you will learn more about issues to do with financing management. Anyway, thank you very much, and God bless you.